All right. Hello. I'm pretty sure most of you know who I am. I'm pretty familiar around the Christian circles. My name is kind of associated with Jesus. And, well, my name is Judas Iscariot. And I want to tell you about my life. And I just want to say that my sketchiness has been a little overrated. You see, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what is it that I can give to you? What kind of story can I possibly tell that would make you want to listen to me? You probably think that I'm worth nothing. You know, I made the worst decision anyone could ever make in not just a life, but in all of humanity. I get it. I get it. But you know, I do have something to say. You see, you would be mistaken to think that the words that I can tell you right now, the story that I'm about to tell you about my life, doesn't relate to you. You'd be mistaken. It's literally what I have to say. Literally, it is a matter of life, and it is a matter of death. And I should know. Carrioff. Carrioff was the name of the village I grew up in. Just a small little village. Nothing spectacular about it. I remember growing up there, you know, humbly. We were comfortable. You know, it was a God-fearing village. You know, my father, Simon, he taught me well. He taught me about the heritage. He taught me about where we've come from as a people. I learned it all. And I was happy. But the story that he always told me was the story of the Messiah. The Messiah that was coming in. I just remember as a child being filled with wonder, just wondering when this guy is coming. You know, this strong king that was going to come and liberate us from the clutches of Rome. That's just how I envisioned him as a child. And my father, very faithfully, would always tell me, the Messiah is coming, the Messiah is coming. And as I grew older, I would continue to hear the stories, the conversations, and I just didn't see it happening. I just didn't see nothing changing. I was a teenager, growing. Now I have my own thoughts, my own ideas. And my heart just started to grow cold. You know, my father, he kept the laws. You know, he was a great man, but I just started to slip at that point. And my own ambitions began to cloud those stories, that expectation of this Messiah. And you really have to understand that to understand me. You have to understand. Well, the years went by, and I just started doing trade here and there, you know. We had to work in order to pay our taxes and those kind of things, which I was really hoping that this king would just come and liberate us so I wouldn't have to pay taxes anymore. But it wasn't happening. Okay? So I had to work. Very annoying. But never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would actually meet the Messiah. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to think about. And my father, he heard about this man that was speaking and teaching with an authority not seen since the time of Moses and the prophets. I mean, people were saying that this man was bewildering the Pharisees. I couldn't believe it. Those Pharisees, they obviously knew the law. So we decided we were going to go and and watch him. See who this guy was about, this Jesus. And we went, and he was there preaching on a hillside. I remember a multitude of people around. It was a nice day. Nice breeze going through, green grass. I mean, you name it. It was just perfect. And he preached and spoke with an authority that just gripped my soul. It gripped me. I mean, he was speaking not to my body, but my spirit. I can feel him feeding me. And I knew there was something different. But my dad, just nudging me. That's the Messiah. That's him. I know it. I know it's him. And I'm just thinking, it can't be the Messiah. I mean, look at the guy. He's a carpenter from Nazareth. I mean, I could be a carpenter if I wanted to work. The guy was obviously not from royalty. He was no king. So I was skeptical. And just as we were having that conversation, I heard that call. And I mean, there's people around, and somehow I heard him. And I knew that he was speaking to me. And so I turned around, and there he is, and he called me to go and join him. So I decided, hey, why not? What the heck? All the other kids were doing it. They were getting a rabbi, and here I was not working. Might as well get my rabbi. So I did that. And I answered that call, and as you all know, a few others answered the call too. And you probably know about all the great things they accomplished. But the truth is that secretly I'm really proud of those guys. Just really am. Together we witnessed amazing things. I mean, people were being healed, the blind were seen, lepers were being healed. I mean, he was turning wine into water. I wish he would have done that a few more times, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed that miracle. But he was also walking on water. I mean, come on, people. That's who I was with. He was walking on water in the middle of a storm, and on top of that, Peter walks on water. I mean, for a little bit, Okay, wasn't that much. I could have probably tiptoed real fast and did something too. But Peter gets the credit. Anyhow, those were the things that were happening around me. And it was insane. And I was enjoying it. It was the greatest time of my life, to walk down those dusty roads from town to town. We would get tired. We wouldn't just go hit, 10, 15 mile stretch at once. We took a break. And when we took a break, we were there with him, just talking about anything, arguing our points, whatever came to our mind, joking. I spent time with Jesus at that level. At that level was where I was with the Messiah. And there was something that he saw in me. I started to think, why would he bring me along this journey? Well, I don't understand. I was still kind of skeptical, but obviously these crazy things are happening. But crazy things, happened to Moses, Crazy things happened with him. He died, right? He died. You gotta feel me here. The prophets, they were great. They were no messiahs. Then he put me in charge of the treasure. I just don't get it. Why would he trust me? Why would he trust me to do that? And of course, all the other disciples were upset that he chose me. I mean, I get why he chose me. Being the treasurer is a very, very dangerous job. And I could obviously stand up to the task. And of course, I needed to be astute and keep track of finances and what we're spending things on. I understand why he chose me. The other guys didn't get it. That aspect I get, but the side of trusting, he trusted me with that. That was our livelihood. And he trusted me with it. And now that I look back, I realize that he didn't give me that to just be the treasurer. He gave me that as my ministry. He gave it to me so that I can exercise my faith in him through it. And of course, as time went on, I started taking a coin here and there. No biggie. Nothing big. I was replacing, I was giving it back. But as the greed started to fill my heart, it was 2 coins, 3 coins, 4 coins. And the other disciples, they started getting suspicious. You see, I left that door to my heart cracked open. When Jesus came in and he invited me in, I didn't close the door behind him. I left it cracked open because I needed to know if this was real. I needed to test him. And I was wrong. Jesus didn't test me. He gave me the treasure. Yet I was testing him. And as my greed grew, bitterness just grabbed a hold of me. It was changing me. Sin just started to fill my heart. And I was just getting upset. Come on, King. Let's go take out the Romans. You know, why are you still preaching to them? I mean, they're Gentiles on top of it. He was even talking to women. That really got me ticked. I mean, why wasn't that perfume sold? And the money given to the poor? Why? That's what I told that woman. Like, how dare she? We were resting. We were in someone's home, and she just comes and pours the perfume all over Jesus. I mean, it's Jesus, first off, and you're a woman, second, and then it's an expensive perfume. What are you doing? That's who I was becoming. Later on, I found out that the Pharisees wanted to capture Jesus. Interesting turn of events. So I went to them and I asked them, what would you give me if I turned him over to you? Oh, don't look at me like that. You know you would do it too. You see, you're just like me. You're sitting there judging. You're full of pride, thinking that you're above me. And that's exactly what I felt. And it consumed me. They told me they'd give me 30 pieces of silver. Not too bad. They handed it over to me. So I told them, I know I'm going to find the perfect time to do it. I'll come and get you. Just let me take care of it. You know, I knew what I was doing. I was untouchable. I mean, I knew the disciples. Those guys weren't going to know what I was doing. Because Jesus ordained me to be the treasurer. They weren't going to question me. They would be questioning Jesus. A couple nights later, we were at the table eating, and Jesus talking about flesh, bread, blood, drinking wine. All I know is that the wine is good. And then he says, someone's going to betray me tonight. It's interesting. So everybody starts looking at everybody. And so I start looking at everybody because I got to blend in. And surely you don't mean me, Rabbi. I knew. He knew. I knew he knew it was me. But I can't explain it to you. What came over me, why I couldn't just not go to the Pharisees. I can't explain it to you. The sin was clouding me. It had engulfed me. And when the moment came, I just left. I left. And I went and I told him exactly where he was going to be praying. Because I knew where he would be. And I told them specific instructions that the one I would kiss would be the one that they would take and seize and take under guard. So, there I go. And the whole time I'm just thinking, what am I doing? I said, well, he's never going to know because he doesn't know that the kiss is a signal, and so the disciples won't know, and it's Jesus, so he could, save himself, and I'll still have the money, and it's fine. There I go, the disciples are sleeping. They eventually woke up, and I go up to Jesus. Greetings, Rabbi. And he just stands up, and I go up to him and I give him a kiss. And he just grabs me. Firm. And he looks me in the eye. Judas, are you betraying me with a kiss? Well, I didn't know what to say. And he just looked at me, penetrating into my soul. And he told me, do what you must, friend. And he just smiled. He just smiled. What I would do to just take that moment back. The guards took him and off they went, and I found out they're going to condemn him. And I tried to fix it. They wouldn't accept, the Pharisees. They don't care. They got what they wanted. And I threw the money into the temple. I didn't know what to do. And I went and I hung myself and I died. That's what I ended up doing in my life. The wages for my sin was death. And the wages for your sin will be death as well. The difference is that today you have a choice to choose. A choice, a chance to repent. And let Jesus completely into your heart and don't shut him out. Be faithful as he is faithful to you. Give him your dreams, your suffering, your pain. My story is bleak and it's sad. but yours doesn't need to be.